All right, we got to get Danny in here.
Danny.
Something really crazy happened while we were on break.
Right, am I hearing this right? Norton is getting all his deep political insight from Hustler magazine.
Well, yeah, it's pretty consistent, I'd say.
Okay. What are you gonna? Danny.
I see you letting the head roll a little.
A little bit. What do you think?
That's all right.
What'd you do during?
It's like Boss's awful Jew hair.
It's not bad.
I worked, Ant.
You worked?
Yeah, these guys worked.
vacation?
These guys worked for free while
Wow.
we enjoyed the
Damn, you didn't go on a cruise?
2-week vacation.
Nope. I came here a couple of days. I was helping Ziggy out with the store.
Dude, I'm walking the
Cash in my
beach,
pocket.
trying to, figure out if I should start smoking pot again. I'm searching out the Coconut Man every day.
I'm dining with the captain.
And these guys working for free.
Working for free.
Back in New York.
The O&A slaves. Very good. Well, there was a controversy.
Yes, Danny. What happened?
The FBI was almost involved?
Pretty much.
Apparently. You guys know Mars, the engineer here. He wanted to tell me a story. He said it was pretty funny, so he was telling me that somebody had moved a box that was in here into the room in the back, and it was apparently...
It was one of our... It was, into one of our offices that we don't use.
All right.
One of the offices that we demanded from XM. We
Yes.
demanded that they build all these offices.
Well, we have an office, but me and Opie needed another office.
That's right.
So we demanded we have an office with just 2 desks in it for us to get away from the riffraff.
And, if you listen to this program, we make it sound like there's no one else in this facility. It's all about Anthony and I, and Jim Norton, of course. And, they had to make a lot of space for the Opie and Anthony show here in New York. And it was a small space to begin with. Yeah. And that wasn't good enough for us. We're like, no, we need to take over the entire conference room. We need the whole kitchen area as our private offices. We need build, or we're not coming.
Right.
So then the rest of the gang had to be shoved into tiny little cubicles. Their space that was small to begin with got smaller.
Now the area where the coffee machine and everything was, now it takes up like a 2-foot spot on a shelf. Pretty much their lunchroom.
So they build these really nice offices so Ant and I could get away. We haven't used them once.
Yeah.
So I guess a box from the studio was moved into one of these offices.
You got it. Mm-hmm. And Mars was kind of curious of what was in the box because it was kind of bulging on the sides.
What's in the box? Tell me what's in the box.
The box.
Don't we have that somewhere?
No, I think you do have it somewhere.
Yeah, we should get it, though.
No, we had it. I played it once. All right, go ahead.
Sorry. So Mars opens the box, and sure enough, inside is the pickled punk.
Oh, the pickled punk.
No.
Where do we get that from?
Andrew Gore.
Andrew Gore.
And I openly admitted that it has brought me bad luck for the 2.5 years that he gave it to me. He gave it to me like 2.5 years ago, and there's been some weird things that have happened in my life.
The Greg Brady tiki.
And I'm
Did
thinking,
you wear it around your neck?
And I was thinking it was in my closet in my New York apartment. I'm thinking, who knows? Yeah. Maybe it would be smart to just give it back to the guy. Yep, and maybe it will help my luck. Maybe.
It is taboo.
Maybe it'll help my luck.
Taboo.
So I brought it back in here because he was supposed to be in New York to...
Does everyone know what a pickled punk is? I don't know if all our listeners know. It's an old circus term.
It's it's from the old sideshows. You would pay your $1 or back then, what was it, a quarter or a nickel? It was like a nickel or something.
Yeah, a nickel, and you'd go in and see these. They're deformed fetuses. Maybe spontaneous miscarriage or something like that. Or what? Did they have abortions back then?
Who knows? But
How did they get these things?
They give them cute names and stuff.
2-headed. Yeah, they'll have 2 heads and 3 legs, or they'll just be so deformed they'll look like lizard baby or something.
Yeah, the lion head boy. Things like that.
Yeah, lion head boy. And it's really disgusting. So Andrew gave one to Opie.
Because I had a fascination about it.
Had a fascination with it and was asking for one and got one.
And in Andrew's old crib, and thank God he finally moved.
Yeah.
So if the FBI wants to question me, I have no idea where he lives now. He had a display in this old joint that was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Siamese babies with the diapers on them.
Yeah, little diapers
in
on
a fish tank. And these things were so old, they had like really, really old locks on them and stuff. From the original owners and stuff. These things have been passed down, generations.
Yeah, pickled punk. Very funny name for dead fetus.
Yeah. So he finally gave me one as a little present.
Little pickled Peterson.
Well, that's where this gets interesting, by the way.
Oh, Jesus. So you found it was bringing you bad luck. As you had it hanging around your neck when you went surfing.
No, I thought it couldn't hurt to bring it back and give it back to the owner.
Take it back.
So it's been just kind of laying
Mr.
around.
Hanalei give you directions to the cave?
Right.
And then what happened with Tiki? Your TV dad took it and wore it around his waist, and
Well, I had a discussion. With Vincent Price, and
Yeah, Vincent Price.
he was in that episode.
And we all went to a luau.
I do nothing wrong.
Do nothing wrong.
So,
It is taboo.
I brought it back in.
Yeah.
And it ended up in a box because no one really wanted to look at it. And then, this place is kind of cluttered, and it was just forgotten about.
Yeah, I definitely did not want to look at that thing anymore.
So the box was moved to this office that Anthony and I don't use. Mm-hmm. And then what happened? Sorry, Danny. Getting back to you finally.
That's all right. So Mars opens it up, sees that it's indeed a fetus in a jar, and doesn't remember that you had brought this in and spoke about it on the air.
Fetus in a jar.
So he proceeds to freak out and grabs Poe and brings him in to ask him.
Poe wrestled it to the ground.
Real, if it's fake. They're freaking out. Poe wants to call the police. And
oh my God!
No. So Mars finds us in the back office because he had to go get something, and he looks into the box, and there's the pickled punk. And
Did they ever hear us talking about this thing?
That's why I'm surprised.
Jesus.
And then Master Poe got involved, and then Bruce, who runs the New York facility, got involved, and they're all just staring at it.
Master Poe put a little ghee on it, taught it a few kicks.
So then what happened there, Danny?
Well, apparently some calls were made down to Washington.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy, here we go again.
That's all Washington needs now with phone calls. Oh, what's the problem? Equipment thing? No, there seems to be a fetus here.
In a jar. In a mayonnaise jar.
Oh, God.
Looks like it might have been born this week. Great.
Oh, boy.
And no one could figure out if it was real or fake. And Mars decided that he just had to find out for himself.
No way.
Yep.
Are you kidding?
Put on a glove, cracked it open, and started poking it.
Why would you open that? That hasn't been opened in decades.
Yeah, and
Probably 90 years.
If you look at it, it looks like it's plastic.
Yeah.
So
he poked it and realized it is real.
Indeed, it was. Well, he was telling me that the night before he was in
what
bed.
What does it feel like?
And he couldn't fall asleep.
Oh, my God, I might puke.
Oh.
Holy, it just hit me.
Oh, what did it feel like?
Oh, my God. Oh.
Like a raw chicken leg.
Dude, look at my arm.
Where it kind of skin moves around a little on the bone.
Yeah. It takes a lot to get me skeeved. I just like, wow. That was the beginnings of a puke.
That is really
He was telling me the night before that he was just thinking about whether it was fake or not, and he just could not fall asleep, and he was just saying to himself, all right, tomorrow I'm just going to go in, I got to touch it.
You will be molested. You will be molested.
He had to touch it.
Yeah.
So he was poking at it?
Yeah, if we want, I guess we could ask him what it felt like if you guys want to know.
What does a pickled punk feel like?
I just like the way Danny tried to direct the show. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Guys, if you want it.
Are you kidding me?
Guys, get him in here.
And bring him right in. It's a good point, young
Look
man.
at all the other interns laughing.
Oh, he hasn't.
They revel in others' failure.
He hasn't seen Ben in 3 hours. He figured, what the hell? I'll give it a shot.
I like the fact that young Danny and his new Carmine Ragusa hair. So what'd you do when you found the pickle punk? Did you slide on the floor and sing Rags to Riches? Wow.
Mars is in the studio.
How you doing?
So, are you on?
I don't know. I hear myself.
Talk again, Mars.
Hello.
Yeah, he's on.
They're a little low.
I
I want to adjust that mic.
Okay.
No, not your headphone volume.
I know.
Silly. So what happened? You found the pickled punk in the back office?
Yeah. And the thing was that I didn't know how I got there.
You never heard us talking about the pickled punk on the show? And,
Unfortunately, did not. So my concern was that someone dropped it off maliciously because maybe we're making jokes of Lacey Peterson and her little
so
Connors.
someone dropped off the pickled punk. I'm wondering how long it took the pickled punk to fill out all the paperwork.
and Poe taking pictures of it.
It actually started when it was in the guy's balls. It went through the whole pregnancy and the abortion and the formaldehyde. You forgot to sign here, little thing.
And what kind of ID did the pickled punk actually have for Poe?
I need a photo ID. Gentlemen. Yeah.
All right, so?
So after that, first thing I did, of course, was pull Paul over, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know if that's real," and I kept saying that it is real, and then I spoke to Bruce as well, And
You found out it was real by poking it.
well, actually, you can tell it's real. I've seen one of those in Germany when I was in Germany.
Really?
And and it looks very real.
But you still had to poke it.
Ultimately, to actually really find out if it was real.
Well,
actually,
what part of the body did you poke?
the head.
Oh, of course.
The head.
That's good.
That's
Did it go
good.
back into the left?
Jesus, you're poking the head of a fetus. That's real smart.
Well, I had to find out again. Like I said, I had no knowledge that it was here before, so I thought it was a malicious act. So I noticed that it was very, very detailed. Saw the genitals. It's a little girl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So why did you take it out of the jar?
No, I did not. I moved the jar around.
You wanted to see its genitals. That's why you touched it.
Oh,
You didn't poke the head. You opened the legs.
Sicko.
Has a little tiny anus.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
Yep.
Keep talking.
All the details of that. Sure, why
I
not?
love this story.
So,
So was it preserved in Jesus juice?
actually, I was trying to smell
I never touched that fetus.
the formaldehyde, but it's not too much of a strong smell. Formaldehyde is
shots?
more of an alcohol-based.
Better than that.
But you lost sleep the night before you decided to molest this thing?
Well, the thing was that some of my higher-ups thought that everybody wanted me to believe that it was fake, and I was determined to prove that it was real.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah,
Scalpel?
it's real. It's absolutely real.
You should have taken a bite out of it. You sink your teeth into like halfway through the head and just bite through the ears and the bridge of the nose, and you chew it.
Oh, my God, stop.
You know the stench that would come off of that into your mouth and your molars?
Oh,
Cook it up like hot wings.
No, you just eat it raw.
Just
See it
take
looking
a
up at
bite.
you.
She wasn't aborted.
It would come. You know what it would come apart like? I don't know how many people will get this reference, but remember when Damone went to visit his pal there, Rat, in the restaurant when he was on the date, and he bit into that thing at the table. He goes, "Hey, Rat, how you doing? Yeah, I come here all the time." And he bit that thing, and it kind of popped, and water shot out of it.
Oh, my God.
Hey, you forgot your wallet. You forgot your abortion over my.
Well, Dr. Mars said that the tiny anus appeared to be of normal size and consistency, and he's saying that it wasn't aborted. How did you know it wasn't aborted?
Well, I think it's not aborted because you will see bruises on the fetus if it was aborted. And there are no bruises on the fetus.
Except for the finger marks you put in its head.
Now it probably has bruises.
But isn't it gray?
No, it's
whitish.
It's white.
It's a whitish, so it doesn't really have any pigment on it.
It's
where you
well
would see
preserved.
it.
It's it's disgusting.
Ugh, sandwich.
So then what happened? What did you guys decide to do?
So ultimately, what happened was
Let's drop it out the 5th floor window.
Oh, Spollat.
we spoke
Along
to
with our
DC.
careers, Spollat.
We spoke to DC, and they wanted to ask one of you guys, but you guys were on vacation. We didn't
Of course we
weren't bother
We're
you.
busy
with
on a
that.
cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be bothered with dead fetus questions.
So when I come in on Monday, the first person that I see is Steve, and I says, "Hey, Steve, by the way, there was a box in the back," and he says, "Oh yeah, the fetus."
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh, you know about it?" And he said, "Yeah, it's been with us all this time." And he explained the story to me about Andy Gore and all that good stuff.
What happened to the fetus?
It is still in Opie's office.
oh, it is.
Yeah,
Why don't you give it back? That's just creepy.
Get that thing
I've been
out
trying,
of here.
but
Get that goddamn thing out of here. Give it a proper burial.
they won't let
Take
me.
it out on a boat off of Modesto and drop it in the water.
They won't let me travel with it or anything. So
Why? Because you got to pay for another ticket?
So
He's afraid it will break in his bag. You pull out a duffel bag, the fetus is stuck to the back of one of your books.
Oh, God.
See, one of its little feet has fallen off.
It's got the iPod headphones on.
that'd make a great commercial. All right, well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Mars.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks, Danny.
Poking. Poked his head. The whole head's a soft spot, isn't it? On something that
Why?
age, that old.
Oh, you did not come
Wow.
back. He's
Totally
been doing
got
it.
him.
He's been doing that to you for 6 months.
Walking back. I'm going to poke him in the head.
All right, we'll take.
Wow, what are we going to do with that thing?
I don't
Come
know.
on, you got to get rid of it.
I thought I did by bringing it back in
Can't you
here.
just send it back to Andy Gore?
Yeah, I'm not mailing it.
Mail it. You could send a fetus through the mail, can't you?
I got to figure something out. I guess it's my responsibility.
Yes,
It is. I don't want it.
All right, we'll take another break. We got to catch up a little bit. We got a lot of stuff still to do. We got Mike Tyson audio.
Someone's suggesting fetus hacky sack. Or give it to Joe Rogan for a Fear Factor eating stunt.
Ugh.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for the instant feedback, people.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, Yukon.
Hey, I want to know, Opie, at what time did you bring that pickle punk to the studio?
The punk has been here almost since day one. Pretty much the first or second week I brought it back. I brought it back in from my house.
Okay, I was just thinking that maybe it was Jinx in the studio. Maybe you should get tapping and knocking his 9 toes to pedal down the DC with his Flintstone geek.
I completely agree that the pickled punk is disrupting my life.
It's jinxing.
And now I think it's disrupting the life of everyone in the New York facility.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm getting a lot of people asking about the pickled punk. They want to take it off my hands.
Ooh, can you just give it away?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's... Ugh.
Shouldn't we get some kind of one of those people with like
an exorcist?
Something, like maybe somebody with a crystal ball or something.
Some kind of voodoo?
Yeah, maybe read the palm of the pickled punk, see what life it was supposed to have.
I think some type of decent burial is in order for the pickled punk.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I'm not taking a chance.
Well, on what?
It might need a Christian, burial or something.
Like you figure if you just bury it, it'll be haunting?
I don't know what religion it is.
I don't know either.
I really think the only solution to the pickled punk thing is to have Andy Gore come back and get it.
And claim it?
Yes.
He really jinxed you by giving it to you, because now I think maybe he had a problem with it, identified it as the Jinx pickled punk, and gave it to you. And now, how do you get rid of it? How do you dispose of a fetus?
I think if you give it back to the person who gave it to you, then
Oh, is that what you're saying? You're making
good.
It's never that easy in movies. It's never that easy. You can't just give... Once you give somebody a bad luck thing, it's not as simple as just going, hi, I'm returning this, thank you.
Why not?
Because you got to go through some ritual or some very difficult thing or activity, or go to some strange, faraway place that's dangerous to get to. That's the only way you can cure that. Like the Brady Bunch, we were talking about the tiki idol.
Well,
they couldn't just put it back.
Well,
they had to give it Mr. Hanalei, and had to tell him to go to the cave, and Vincent Price was there, and it's very dangerous for the kids.
But how about we burn something in all the corners of the room?
Like sage?
Is that the thing they burn?
I think they burn sage.
But it has to be burned in every corner of the room. You can't just walk around the place with sage burning. You have to burn it into each corner of the room.
You know that.
I do some of that reading sometimes.
What the hell? You burn it in the corner of a room?
Yeah, it gets rid of the badness.
I thought you just had to wave it around.
No, you don't just wave sage around.
What do I know? I'm learning something new here.
Of course not. You burn it, and then you make sure it hits every corner of the room.
Well,
someone will back me up on this one.
I'm not denying it. I'm just saying I don't think that'll work unless you get rid of the pickled punk first in the appropriate fashion.
I think as soon as we get rid of the pickled punk, all is going to be good with the show.
Could you imagine you get rid of it and everything miraculously just works here in the studio? Oh, all of a sudden we're not butting heads with anybody at XM anymore. It just everything is fine with the world. You got to get rid of that thing.
I blame it on the pickled punk.
It is the pickled punk. That nasty little face. Rrr. What do we do? Give it back.
I think we just give it back.
But there's got to be some kind of ceremony.
I think we give it back with some kind of ceremony with maybe some sage burning in the corners of the room.
Burning sage in the corners of the room.
Yep.
Give it back. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, the sage, you kind of sold me with the sage. Because I'm thinking you can't just give it back, but a little sage. But there's something missing.
I think we need to all come into work one day with robes. With hoods. Maybe like a robe with a purple hood. And then we all just walk around with the sage.
Something like that.
And you guys will follow me. Whoa, turn the lights back on. You're freaking me out, man.
Scaring me.
Holy shit.
They were turning the lights down.
And I didn't even know you were turning the lights down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here?
Yeah, okay. All right, sage. Hoods. But there's no real element of danger involved. Usually there's some kind of danger that has to be involved when returning these evil things. Getting rid of it.
Well, we could all, like, I don't know, eat pea soup and see what happens.
Let's see if we vomit it back up.
See if someone's head starts spinning around the room.
In evil fashion.
No, we're all going to get robes with hoods.
Yeah.
With some kind of weird, like...
an emblem?
Some kind of weird emblem.
That's just silly.
That might be either good or bad. We don't even know, you know?
Like the Druids?
Maybe with, like, some kind of a star, like a half moon.
Half moon?
Half moon, a star, and a plus sign.
Nope. Plus sign. No pentagram, though.
No.
No evil.
No, because we all know what that is.
Yeah.
It has to be some kind of emblem. You really don't know what it is.
Okay.
But you know it's going to work. And then you guys will have to follow me around the room as I'm burning the sage into each corner of the room.
How come we're involved in this? It's your punk.
Yeah, but obviously it's affected the show. It's affected this place. You know, people's lives are a little strange these days.
Now the punk has been touched, though, by Mars.
Yeah, that's not good, but I had nothing to do with that.
But
I had nothing to do with someone actually poking the pickled punk.
Poking it.
All
he
right?
might have been sleeping and stuff, and now you woke him up.
Hey, look, we're looking up emblems online. Yeah, I like that one. I like the cross symbol with like the noose at the top.
Is that called an ankh?
I have no idea. How the fuck do you know it was an ankh?
Forget Aristotle and fuck Socrates. Here comes Professor Anthony.
I just know it as a cross with like the like a noose thing at the top. And do you know how to spell it?
No, I'm awful at spelling, Opie.
All right.
No, sorry.
All right.
That's one thing Professor Anthony needs to study, is his spelling skills. Thank God for spell check. God, did I used to get railed. When I used to have to write things, I use spell check now. I defy you to find misspelling in the past, even couple of years, I would say.
Well, I could break out the XM satellite radio contract. I think you barely spelled your name right.
Okay, I was probably drunk at the time.
All right, so
I understand. Years ago, I was, very bad, and when I had to write things, it's just awful. Now spell check is so easy. Just pop it right in there. It calls you an idiot, gives you the right spelling, you move on. Look like a genius.
All right, we got to figure out something with this pickled punk. It's obvious.
Yeah, I am a little frightened. It has really kind of put a damper on the show. Thank you. Why did you even ask for it? It's the worst thing you could possibly have is a fetus staring at you through a glass jar. It's cool if you go over what's his name, Andrew's house, and go on his tour of all of his pickled punks. But to have one, you don't want to have one.
No,
you walk through a freak show, you look at the bearded lady, you're not thinking of taking her home. You just kind of look at it, admire it as a freak, and move on.
And all kidding aside, a lot of bad things happened after I got the pickled punk.
Yeah.
So I'm partly serious here, by the way. I don't want to give you the laundry list, but it was a really bad 2.5 years.
But there's no guidelines as to what you do with it to get rid of any evilness that might be spread around. In the movies, it's easy. They go, and I'm reading in this book that you have to do A, B, C, D.
All right, well, why don't we go down to one of those ancient bookstores somewhere in the village?
And maybe talk to the person behind the counter, and they'll go, who's
been alive for like 400 years, but he still fits into society.
Right, very. Ooh, that's mysterious. Yeah, and then maybe he could direct us to a book.
Yeah, a book that he has to go.
The Necromonicon.
Oh, I got just what you need, and he goes in the back, and all of a sudden comes out with this book with a leather case or something.
Necromonicon, yeah.
Yeah, and this goes, blows it off. And there's the title of the book. And it's perfect for our situation.
And then you thumb through
Pickled Punk Removal.
Pickled Punk Removal section. There's never it's never like that. It's never that simple.
I can't wait to start smoking pot again, because this sounds great.
It's like the old Asian guy in Gremlins downstairs.
Yeah.
You got to kind of,
but
find
we have to go to
out-of-the-way spot.
We have to go to a bookstore somewhere. It's an out-of-place bookstore, but the guy has to have some kind of like long beard.
Long, weird beard.
Long, weird beard.
And it can't just be an old bookstore. It's got to be like an occult place, though, doesn't it?
Where
they sell, books and charms?
That's the beauty of it.
It could just be an old bookstore?
The Gremlins guy. He was just kind of in this cool little shop. And then it had that, yeah, exactly.
All right, so it's an old bookstore.
Yeah.
But it can't be like a Borders or something.
Nah.
It's got to be like an independent bookstore.
Independent.
You can't, like, go in there and get some coffee.
Why not? Independent bookstore that might have some children's books off to the side a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit, just to create the illusion.
Oh, that
and you
it's
might
legit?
be using this bookstore for other things.
But then what's, like, the secret word to let the guy know, look, we need a little more than what you're showing out here?
A scar on my body.
What? I don't even... What?
Some kind of scar on my body.
And you show it, and he goes, oh, I got what you need.
Exactly.
And he goes around back.
And he's been waiting a very long time for me to show up. Like his whole life
isn't gonna work.
His whole life has been just waiting for this moment where I show up to show the scar.
What scar do you have?
I don't know. I got like this. I got a really bad scar from when I was a kid where I tried to open an orange juice can.
That isn't it. You mean that back then you were opening an orange juice can and that was sealing your fate back then?
Who knows? Now I'm starting to think.
It has to be something
and
odd.
I tried to push the lid
strange.
down and the edge of the orange juice can almost took my whole thumb off. Look, it's still there 20-some-odd years later.
Dude, that means nothing. It would have to be some kind of strange occurrence. If the orange juice lid mysteriously flung off the counter and zipped like a saw blade into your finger, that's one thing. You're opening up a can as a kid, and that's putting this high sign scar on your thumb to show the guy in the shop?
I believe it set me down the road, and it brought us to this moment.
You're going to put your thumb up, and he's going to be like, yeah? What can I help you with, sir?
You know what? I never really noticed what this scar spells out or something. Maybe we should get a little ink and I'll press it down on a piece of paper to see what it's all about. By the way, that's going to be my new autograph when we go out.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Just going to dip it in ink and give a thumbprint of your
Because now this scar, because we've talked about it on the radio, is very famous.
We have learned that if you talk about something, it gets famous.
How many people are going to ask me to see the scar now?
Let me see the orange juice.
When we're out and about.
There it is, the orange juice can scar.
All right, so you're with me or what?
No, not with the scar. I was with it. I'm feeling it because I want to get rid of this too. But the scar thing.
All right, what are you feeling? Are you feeling like some weird emblem thing on our purple robes?
Ooh, that's good. No, because we got to walk into the place and have some kind of weird emblem. Maybe something around your neck, like a necklace thing or a ring or something that.
I got this cool thing on this cool cross thing that I wear all the time.
It's a cross.
Which, by the way, I've been walking around Manhattan and really bothering people. I just will hold it up and go, for the Pope, for the Pope.
Really?
Yeah.
And they look at you like you have 3 heads.
Yeah. This pot thing's going to work out just nicely.
You think it's going to be good?
Yeah. I got to start smoking that pot again.
I'm thinking a ring. Some kind of ring that you got to give the guy something, and he sees the ring and goes, oh, okay.
Like a decoder ring?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe I have something in my apartment that is the missing piece of some kind of...
Right.
Some kind of ancient puzzle.
Well, somebody has it in their possession, of course, because fate would have delivered it to you years ago for just this moment. Unlike your stupid orange juice can scar, it would actually mean something.
So I should look for some kind of...
Have you come across any piece of jewelry or something with an emblem on it that you probably would like, why am I keeping this? I should throw it away, but you just keep it, and it's a little weird.
Well, I got a shark tooth necklace when I was in the Bahamas over vacation.
Yeah, that's... no.
Seemed like just a thing to buy, but maybe that was it.
You know what probably would have been it? That finger bone necklace that you got years ago.
Dude, that's buried.
You buried it where?
In my parents' backyard.
See, you got to dig that up.
No way am I digging that up.
That
no
to the bookshop. Of course, it makes total sense now. It was always the finger bone.
I had a human finger bone necklace,
right.
Yes, that Chuck Farnham gave me.
Chuck Farnham was selling these things. He actually went to...
I know exactly where that is.
A supplier.
I did bury that.
Of bones, of human bones. He called it cannibalware. And Opie, in his sick fascination, once again, decided he was going to get one of these things. He wore it for a while, but noticed it stunk. He would sit, doing the radio show, sniffing this thing all day. To my disgust, he'd hold this finger bone up to his nose and just... He'd be sniffing it all day long.
Maybe it's the missing bone that brings some kind of skeleton to life.
Ooh. I know you're getting a little far-fetched.
Why not?
You think that would be it? But I think it's the bone that you have to wear around your neck to show the guy at the bookstore that's going to then let him know what we need to get rid of the bad karma and the fetus, the pickled punk. I think you got to dig up the finger bone. You know where it is?
Yeah, I do.
It's still got the leather around it?
It's kind of buried in, like, the pet cemetery section of our backyard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. You could dig up a cat bone by mistake? The guy's going to go, that's a cat bone. I can't help you.
It could be, I think it's buried close to one of my cats that we buried, or one of the goldfish we lost.
Did you bury it with a rawhide that tied around your neck?
Oh, yeah.
So the whole thing is buried. Did you put it in a box, or did you just bury it in the dirt?
No, man. Let nature take
dirt?
Its course.
All right. Well, it could still, I don't think it decomposed that fast. How long ago did you bury it?
Dude, that's years ago, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Probably 3, 4, maybe?
Oh, at least.
Could be 5 years ago.
I think it's 5 years.
Dude, you got to dig it up now and put it around your neck, and we got to go to the bookstore.
Imagine I walk in with, like, my hair all askew like Ben, and I got this necklace around my neck that says rotting and dirty and.
But that'll tip him off.
Little maggots crawling all over it.
And it makes sense because it's not easy. All right, it's not all that difficult, but it's not something sitting around like the scar on your thumb. You got to go back. You got to find where you buried it. You got to dig up this thing that's been gone for years now. It's a human bone, buried. Dig it up. Put it back around your neck. Now we got to go to the bookstore. Now it's all coming together. This makes sense now.
So the guy is going to recognize the bone necklace?
He'll see the bone necklace. Then he'll know what our problem is because this whole thing is tied together.
So then he'll get that book that no one has really looked for.
Right. And then in there will be the instructions how to get rid of this pickled punk and the bad luck that it has brought. This is beautiful. This is going to work. All right, dig it up. When are you going out?
What if I can't find it?
You have to.
All right,
I always find it in the movies.
I will try to find the bone necklace.
Gotta find it.
Opie Potter will be out on Long Island this weekend.
Our only hope.
Can we see the pickled punk today?
No, I don't want to look upon it. I don't want to look upon it.
I just want to make sure
anymore.
Mars didn't, wreck it by poking it too hard.
Dude, don't look at it. Leave it sealed up in the box. Is it still in the box? Do not gaze upon it.
I don't think it's cool that we disrespected the pickled punk.
What's this wee shit? I didn't touch it. I want whatever's in charge of the pickled punk to know. No, get it out of here.
Dude, you're suffocating
it.
Let it breathe.
No.
Let the pickled punk breathe.
No.
Let it see the
light.
light.
Why are you doing this?
What?
Get it out of here.
Why is it sealed up like that? Are you guys sending it to the FBI?
It's got a rubber band around the box. It says punk this side up with an arrow. What disrespect.
The punk has to see. Has to see.
Oh, God. No. No. If he sees, then he does. Put the punk back. It's in a box. For some reason, it's got this mystic rubber band around it that holds in. It's able to hold him in. Usually
holds in all the goodness.
It's some chain with an ancient lock of, something that holds it in. And if you take that off, then the evil gets out. This is a rubber band from the supply closet.
Shouldn't it be some kind of ancient lock where only one person has the key?
Dude, that should be in some crafted wooden box with carved emblems on it. With some weird lock that's ancient golden lock with a key that is only held by the high priest of blah, 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 blah.
Who could just be one of our interns, and we didn't know he was a high priest.
It's in a goddamn iPod box with a rubber band around it. What? No wonder it's pissed.
We stink as being sorcerers.
Years ago, for years, this thing has been on this earth. This punk, we've been told, could be. It's at least 90 years old. Could be over 100 years old. And it's been here on this earth. Think of where it's been, what it's seen, what it's been contained in, and it ends up in 2005 in a cardboard box with a rubber band around it. Of course, it's pissed. We're not giving it the respect it deserves.
That's why I think we have to get it out of the box immediately.
No,
immediately.
Look,
and let it see let it get some sunlight today.
It's pissed off, but you got to leave it where it is. You don't just pull it out all pissed. We got to figure. You got to dig up that bone. We got to go to the bookstore.
Where's the bookstore?
I don't know. That's part of the mystery. We're going to be going into 10 bookstores and go hello to the counter guy, and he's going to be like, can I help you? And then you'll just tap the bone with your finger.
Are the Hardy Boys still working?
Perhaps you haven't seen this around my neck, sir. That's lovely. What can I help you with? Yeah, I will be so disappointed if somebody doesn't look upon that bone around your neck and go, oh, I know what you need. And I just know it's not going to work, because shit like this never works.
Maybe we should just, I don't know, to finish this up, maybe we should just come up with our own ceremony and hope for the best.
It's got to be based on something, though. It's got to be based on some ritual that's tried and true. It's got to be some kind of burial ritual.
I think, I don't want to keep, pounding this into the ground, but I think we have to give it back to Andy Gore with some kind of ceremony.
Right. Okay.
You have to give it back to that. I can't take the responsibility of thinking it needs a burial.
Right. No, I agree with you on that, but there needs to be some type of ceremony, whether it was a burial ceremony or some other kind of a passing of the
Somewhere along the line, the link was broken.
Right.
So the link was broken when Andy Gore gave it to me.
Right.
So I have to give it back to Andy Gore.
The punk belongs to certain people. It's their fate to possess the punk throughout history. Andy, of course, is one of those people that is meant to possess the punk. You, on the other hand, were not.
Obviously.
You weren't meant to.
So we bring it back to Andy.
So Andy gets it back.
And then he'll find the next person that was really supposed to have this thing.
Right. Or actually, it just happens. Like, how did Andy get it?
I don't know.
Do you remember? You didn't even get a history of this punk before you got it? You're taking possession of something that's probably a century old, dude, and you didn't get a history like, all right, where did it come from?
It's not even a good pickled punk.
Shh. It's a fine punk. It's a fine punk. Shh. Landrew will hear you. There are witches. There are witches. Love that Star Trek. It's like 2 episodes, but... Landrew will hear you. It's a wonderful punk.
Someone's suggesting we bury the punk next to Chester.
No, Chester isn't buried. Chester is
someone
cremated in an urn, by the way. And for you people that are keeping track, my ex-mother-in-law has kept Chester's ashes, and when she passes, she has told people she wants the ashes buried with her. There you go.
All right. Someone wants Pat from Moonachie to drive it down to Louisiana. Someone wants to know if Andy Gore's been having good luck ever since he gave me the punk. Someone is saying give the punk a proper burial. And, of course, Pat from California, send the punk to Scott Peterson.
Oh, Jesus. He knows how to get rid of him. Melanie from Cleveland says, don't go digging up any bones. I'll write a spell for you. It will take care of everything. And, yes, you can find spells and witchcraft books at Borders. Or go to a metaphysical shop. A few candles, a spice, and a chant, and it will be okay.
What kind of spice?
A little witch.
Is it sage?
Yeah, what am I going to use? A little cinnamon?
If you guys want to send
oregano. Oregano. Take the fetus. Now add a little oregano. This is going to be wonderful. We're going to get rid of all the evilness that has entered your life. Take this now a little cumin and some cinnamon on here. Wonderful. Now whisk the little guy up with some... What spice do you use?
Yeah, you can't just...
Now put the blender on frappe.
I got a really good spice that makes your pizza taste really good.
Oh, maybe that'll work.
It's kind of like I think it's called like a pizza
When you take the bite out of the head that Jimmy described yesterday, that's tasty.
It has a little red pepper in it, and a little oregano, and some other things.
I don't think we'll be putting any
Well, if you guys want to send in your chants, maybe we could pick the best one.
A chant?
Is that what you said, or...
Yeah, I do a chant. Someone says, Rev from Whackbag, I'll be seeing Andy at the end of the month at the Chiller Theater Convention.
That's all well and good, but I'm not trusting anyone else.
Says, if you'd like, I'll personally deliver it to him. You know that I know him, and I'm a faithful O&A fan. I wouldn't lie to you. No, we understand, and I would truly trust Rev to do this, but I don't think that works, because then it would be Opie breaking the chain by giving it to Rev,
right,
who then gives it back, so Rev gets rid of the bad luck. but Opie still has it because you broke the chain.
And what if Rev is crossing the street and all of a sudden just kind of trips?
Oh, boy.
Hey, it happens.
Splat.
Exactly. By
How
the
do
way,
you clean that up?
the punk is now breathing nicely.
God damn it, I looked at it!
You motherfucker.
It's, you know, those seats where the listeners kind of take a look at us as we broadcast our show? The pickled punk is sitting up nice. All is good with the world, at least for this moment.
Oh, God, could you please get rid of that thing? Oh, my God. Why did you take it out of the box?
It had to get...
Put it back in the box. Put it back in the box.
It had to be taken out of the box, Anthony. It had to. Let's say hi to Chad. Chad?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Hey, you guys see that movie Red Dragon?
Who was in Red Dragon?
It's a prequel to the Hannibal Lecter movie.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know where Ralph Fiennes, like, he's being controlled by that painting, so he has to break into the Brooklyn Museum of Art and eat the painting to stop it from controlling him?
Oh, yeah?
I think you got to cut that thing up into slices and down, and at least Opie has to eat a piece of it.
No, you don't have to eat it. I know that's not true.
All right, thank God.
Whatever you do, send the fluid to Mike Source. He can gargle with it. It'll improve his breath.
Jersey Joe from Jersey, obviously.
Hey, how you doing,
Jesus.
fellas?
What's up, Jersey Joe?
I think it's obvious where your fate changed, and you should not actually wear Chester's broken rib around your neck.
All right, Jersey Joe.
Punching out.
What an ass.
Chester.
Let's go to Frank from Jersey. We officially talked to Frank for the first time during one of our Boston broadcasts.
Oh, this is the Frank?
Yes. Frank, what's up?
Hey, guys. A few things happened after the show, and I thought I'd share.